Joe, come on. Go! Dear God! Happy birthday to you!
It all started with Kate plus 8. For 10 years, TLC ran the show of a family with 2 sets of twins totaling 8 children.
Mommy's so overdramatic.
No! I'm not doing this! Could I have the waffle?
The public followed along as the children grew older and the family became a brand. For anyone who stopped watching a long time ago, like myself, what unfolded is a fame gone wrong type of situation. The couple got divorced and the children's custody was anything but smooth. Today, some of the kids live with their mother while others are with their father. In short, the picture of a perfect family that was displayed on television was all fake.
Smile.
Oh, Dad, turn it off!
It is off.
Dad, it is not! What's with the red light?
It's the off light. Right, Ross?
With the camcorder making its way into homes across the world in 1983, there was a sudden surge in personal videos. Family-filled footage showed the value of collecting memories and sharing special moments within the safe confines of your own home.
Hello, Jamie. Say happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
With the release of the camcorder, Sony had made movie making possible for the masses. However, another revolution in more recent years broke down many barriers within the world of communication. This was the social media revolution. And so did it too break down the barriers of people's own homes. Family videos of children opening Christmas presents or losing their first tooth are no longer limited to the privacy and viewership of close relatives. Today, anyone that has access to an internet connection can view your family videos. Welcome to the world of family vlogging. You'd be forgiven for thinking that babies in bow ties and seemingly average parents sharing aspects of their everyday life is as innocent and authentically wholesome as it sounds. When you dig a little deeper, you'll discover that this is not the case. Like is often with social media, not everything that you see on family vlogs is what it tends to present itself as. This sickly sweet and rapidly growing YouTube genre, which the Time magazine estimates has shot up in viewership by 90% in recent years, is nothing short of disturbing, no matter how you try to look at it. Even more unsettling is the realization that the negative effects of family vlogging on these influencer kids are still little understood. The whole genre raises a multitude of ethical questions that are in desperate need of answers. The most effective way to understand the unique world of family vlogging is through examples of huge names in the category. With the growth of social media, family shows moved to YouTube. Roman Atwood Vlogs, the Ace family, and the Labrant family all have more than 10 million subscribers on the world's favorite video sharing platform, YouTube. All of these and many more channels display the daily lives of their families on YouTube. Like any other social media platform, algorithms and trends dominate YouTube. Family channels have been rising for several years. Scrolling through some of these channels makes it easy to spot trends. For example, adoption, especially international adoption, was responsible for the growth of a lot of family channels. Other trends were traveling the world in an RV, homeschooling, or more recently, unschooling. So much is the influence of these family vlogs that the list described the Labrant family as social media royalty. This family has been the subject of both great controversy and intense media worship. According to estimates by the list, the Labrant family is making anywhere in the region of $15,000 per day or $5.5 million a year. And with the channel's yearly hike in subscribers, this is likely to be far exceeded as of now. So how did the Labrant family become social media royalty?
What's up, guys? It's just me and Carl today. Just kidding. We're all here. And today is finally the day we've been waiting for forever.
Have been waiting for this day for a long time. I've
That
seen
we've been
comments
waiting
of,
for.
when is the
house tour?
Let's begin with what is at the core of family channels: the children. Shay Lee, a former family vlogger, stated in a YouTube interview that brands will pay better if children are part of the promotional content.
And you're right about the brands. They actually want family content. Brands are willing to pay more money for your family to be involved. And I was told several times by several different management companies that I needed to show more family content if I wanted more opportunities, because that's really where the money is here.
In 2019, Pew Research Center released a study that found YouTube videos featuring children under the age of 13 received more than 3 times as many views as videos without children. In the same year, The Verge published an article discussing the findings of the Pew Research Center study. The website wrote, "Creators have seen it as a way to guarantee ad revenue due to the video's popularity." In a nutshell, having more children in videos means more views and in turn, more money. Parents and owners of family vlog channels seem to neglect the more genuine aspect of home movie making that existed before the social media revolution. The aim is not to have valuable private documentation of the good, the bad, and the ugly to pull out at celebrations to reminisce. Today, it's now for the pursuit of celebrityhood and 6 figures. When parents then establish themselves as channel owners and involve their children for monetary gain, the lines between parenting and business become blurred. The daughter of the Labrant family founders, Everleigh, was illustrated in the list article as a pint-sized social media hit in her own right, before stating that she, as of 2019, was in the top 3 richest YouTube children in the world. Comparing an 8-year-old to a common measurement for beer or cider can be seen to be verging on objectifying. Children are often portrayed as money-making props, not just by the media, but by those that they are supposed to trust the most, their parents. Now, let's look at the infamous tactic of clickbait. According to dictionary.com, clickbait is a sensationalized headline or piece of text on the internet that is designed to entice people to follow a link to an article on another web page. This can be absolutely applied to video content too. Essentially, clickbait is anything that entices a viewer and makes them want to click. From Pew Research Center's study, that even includes children. In mid-September 2021, a Los Angeles mom known as Jordan Cheyenne was caught through an editing error forcing her son to fake a cry for a YouTube thumbnail on a video titled "We Are Heartbroken." What is more disturbing is that her son was genuinely and authentically crying because of the prospect of the unwell puppy not surviving.
Come here. Come closer for the video. Come closer. Come closer. Come closer. Put your head right here. Come closer. Closer down. Put your head down here. Act like you're crying. Really quick.
I am crying.
Go like this.
No, Mom, I'm actually seriously crying.
No, I know, but go like this for the video. Go like this. Put one hand up. Go like this. No, go like this. Put your hand like this. But let them see your mouth. Let them see your mouth.
Oh, Mama, I'm actually crying.
Look at me. 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 I know, look at me. Look at me. Look at the camera. Look at the camera.
The appearance of empathy and nurture that we associate with not only good parenting, but also good morals, had vanquished in the pursuit of a clickbait staged thumbnail. In the pursuit of fame and fortune. Unfortunately, Jordan's case is one of the few incidences of inauthenticity that the public has highlighted and doesn't slip easily under the viewer's eye. But some family vlog channels are more subtle, and their manipulative tactics go unobserved. This is especially when the videos they are producing are targeted at a younger and less experienced demographic. Examples of such YouTubers include the Ohana Adventure, which is a family vlogging channel that is centered around Jason and Rachel Bennett along with their 6 children. Jason Bennett was featured in a podcast interview with another YouTuber known as the Techie Guy or Liron Segev. In the podcast, they discussed how Jason gained his 2.7 million subscribers at the time. Bennett and Segev's discussion was incredibly helpful, but at times awfully uncomfortable. Several notable points were raised. For instance, Bennett explained that the reason he began the channel was to get him and his wife out of debt.
We have family goals around the channel. We have family goals around if we can do this, we can all go do this. And we tried to get the kids really involved with it. First, it was to pay off our debts because of some of our businesses. We had some debts left over, so we had a whole bunch of goals about that. And the kids were all in. It was amazing to see them like, what can we do? What can we do to do this better? How are the views, Dad? And
wow.
They really were very interested in it. It was amazing.
He also explained that as a family, they are always thinking about the next piece of content, and that he even has business meetings with his children almost weekly.
Do you have like family meetings? Do you have like a YouTuber family get-togethers? I mean, how does this work?
We have a super intense thing called Family Council. Right.
Oh,
yeah, it's intense.
Just the name alone is
typically once a week, sometimes not that often. Sundays we're always home, we're together, so on Sundays we'll actually have a little council. We'll crank out the whiteboard, put down ideas. What are your ideas? What do you have this week? What's your schedule? What's our schedule? How are we going to fit these videos in? And we organize it all.
Among the more potent things being discussed was the family's demographic audience. Here, Bennett admitted that he had to edge down his target audience because he realized teens lose interest once they have a driving license.
We did all those parodies. We were a teen channel. Teens don't have a lot of runway, right? After about a year of a teen, they then get their license and you've lost your subscriber. If you can get 8-year-olds, they're very engaged, they're very active, the algorithm loves it. You've got them till they're 14 or 15. So it took us 2 years to age down our channel. It was working wonderfully, but we knew it didn't have a lot of runway with it. And so we've been aging down our channel for 2 years.
This didn't so much unsettle as it did fascinate until his final statement as the podcast arrived at a close. Segev asks Bennett if there's one message he could put on a tweet or a video that everyone could watch. What will his message be? And Bennett responds,
Man, I'm all just about be real. Honestly, just be real. Like, if you've got an issue with me, come and tell me my hair sucks. I am totally okay with that. I respect people that are real so much because real isn't popular.
That may seem like a lot of honesty and real talk for a man who titled a video, Mom Gets Cancer Removed, Scary Facial Surgery. Just to be clear, this was nothing short of a lie. In actuality, there was no cancer removal in the video at all. It was just the removal of benign moles from his wife's face. Not even 10 minutes into the video, the nurse had told Rachel,
Right now I'm looking at it and it looks healthy to me.
Okay.
It does not look like anything that I'm worried about as far as precancerous.
Yet still, this was seen as an opportunity for clickbait and content. When the results arrive, They gather all the children in a room to film their reaction to the fairly predictable results. The children's reaction was the money bag, in not just this video, but in most family vloggers' videos.
It says there is no evidence of active cells.
Awesome!
Basically, it means you are cancer-free.
Yay! This was catastrophizing for the sake of content. Not only a lie, but can also be viewed as an insult to all those that have genuinely had to have cancer removed. Unfortunately, their audience does not have the capacity to hold them accountable for actions like this because, like Bennett admitted, they are children themselves. Most can't understand this, they can only fall victim to it. It was clear after listening to this podcast that for Jason Bennett, family vlogging wasn't about getting out of debt anymore. It wasn't even about living comfortably. It was about living luxuriously.
Here goes the quad stack. We have Jace, Wyatt and Evie for a triple. Hold strong, honey. Use those thighs.
This leads us to what happens when you finally combine all three: children, clickbait thumbnails, and titles. You get a distasteful viral video with 12 million views and a huge sum of cash in return for your lack of humanity and morals. This is exactly what happened when a channel called Best Trends uploaded a video of a young girl in obvious physical and emotional distress titled "Little Girl Goes to Heaven While Her Parents Watching, Emotional." Address that title and you essentially have a little girl dies while her parents watch. And what is deeply saddening is more so that the majority response is so positive to this upload. Thankfully, the girl does not die, but Best Trends have essentially created two victims in this instance: the little girl and the viewer. There is no legislation in the US that forces parents to pay their children for their work on a YouTube channel. Yet, they can put their children on a payroll. For child actors, the Coogan Act ensures that a part of their earnings is safeguarded for when they reach the age of majority. This is a protection against exploitation because it prevents the parents from spending their child's money. However, nothing prevents family vloggers from exploiting their children, spending the money they gain from posting videos of them. In France, legislation was introduced in 2020 that regulates how many hours children under 16 years old can work online and what happens to their earnings. For starters, parents need to request permission to record videos with their children for monetary purposes. Moreover, the earnings have to be placed in a fund that the child can access when they reach 18 years old. For the first time in history, children are having their entire lives documented online for the whole world to view. This is according to a 2020 Humboldt State University paper on the dangers of parenting in the public eye. The largely understood but just as dangerous aspect of family vlogging is the competition. Jason Bennett mentioned in the podcast that he's feeling the competition because a lot of family vlogging is becoming very Me Too. Now, they have to make their family stand out and are willing to go to extreme lengths to do this. When you have a whole category of families trying to outdo one another with pranks and dares, somebody is going to get hurt. It constantly evolves, propelling into never-ending disasters of psychological abuse with nobody to put the brakes on. We've seen this with the family vloggers Daddy05. A dad and stepmother who lost custody of two of their children because of psychological child abuse that was used as online content. The parents carried out pranks on their children where they will break their valuables for a negative response and then tell them that it was a prank and replace the valuables with a positive one.
This is a library. You took it from your office. What? You took it from your office?
No, I didn't. No, it's gone.
You're blaming me for everything. You took it from your office. No, I didn't. He took
No!
That's the thing with this category of YouTubers. What is this teaching not only their children, but what many of them claim is the majority of their demographic, other people's children? That if you first tolerate the extreme discomfort of watching your valuables being destroyed, then you will be materialistically rewarded. On a far darker side, Nishat Talukdar, in a paper researching the effects of family vlogging in children for Christ University in 2020, found that a well-known YouTuber had deleted all the traces of her children from her channel when she discovered that her videos were being used on pedophile websites.
And that had never really occurred to me before because, from my understanding, it was moms and families watching my content, and I thought those were the only people that could be watching. I mean, call me naive, but I didn't really understand the ramifications of who could be watching. So I started doing some deep diving of my personal analytics, found my kids in some crazy playlists, found my daughter in a few playlists of like babies in diapers, because I used to film her in her diaper as a baby. And it's just, I found the craziest things.
Anything can be turned vulgar, and these parents don't really realize what kind of people are embedded in their subscribers and views lists. To most family vloggers, as you have gathered, their subscribers are just figures. Their demographics are just statistics, and thus when monstrous people are brought to reality, this is something that parents cannot seem to fathom. That number is no longer just a number. It's a real person. It's a bizarre naivety that one can argue doesn't really feel justified. If you've watched any family vlogging channel, you know they give a lot of information about themselves. They show which Target stores they go to, where their kids go to school or wait for the school bus, where they go to gymnastics, where they go to the doctor, where and when they go on holidays, and so much more. A study on online security by Barclays projects that by 2030, sharing private information of children online will account for up to 7 million cases of identity theft. The reason? All you need to steal someone's identity is their name, home address, and date of birth. There should be no question that family vlogging comes with several ethical issues. Should parents have the right to post private information about their children that will be on the internet forever? Should they be mandated to delete the information at their child's request? Should they be allowed to make an income from sharing their kids' childhood online? Shouldn't the money go towards the child's future? Most of these ethical issues are not easy to solve, but as the legislation in France shows, some are actually not hard to resolve. Make it mandatory for parents to place earnings from family vlogging in an account for their kids to access once they become adults. Also, make sure that they're not working long hours for their YouTube content. We should not also allow extremely private things like periods of potty training to even make it on YouTube. At the end of the day, it's up to lawmakers to start making a difference. It's also up to us not to watch content we find ethically reprovable. It isn't like there aren't stories nearly every day about the use of internet in harmful ways, or even an exposure of a child sex crime. It appears that parents essentially decide that the perks of celebrityhood outweighs the protection of their child, and that will inevitably be a hard thing for some children to come to terms with as they age. So as of now, it can be hard to provide any evidence of concrete consequences while this new media phenomenon soars in popularity. Essentially, the only real thing we can do is speculate with given events and circumstances. However, it's almost inevitable that time will reveal all, and by then, it's only natural to fear that it might be too late.